In this presentation, we consider Plainfield West and its possibilities to complement transit-oriented development in Netherwood and the Plainfield Downtown, capitalize on its assets and strengthen its community identity, and explore growth opportunities that would support and help us locate an appropriate site for a future rail station. Traditionally, the West End neighborhood has been a distinct part of Plainfield. Its borders are the railroad, Central Avenue, West 4th Street, and Clinton Avenue, encompassing a roughly 0.32 square mile area. We have expanded this neighborhood to include other parts of Western Plainfield that can also benefit from and even influence future transit-oriented development. We term this new area Plainfield West, an area whose borders are the Plainfield TOD boundary to the east, North Plainfield and Greenbrook Park to the north of the tracks, Denellen to the west, and a roughly 1/2 mile distance south from the railroad tracks. The Raritan Valley Rail Line historically had 2 train stations in Plainfield West. These stations were Grant Avenue and Clinton Avenue stations. The Grant Avenue station was created in 1885, and the stop remained open until 1970, and the station no longer exists on the site. Today, the site is a leveled, vacant, city-owned lot. The second station, Clinton Avenue Station, was established in 1872, and the stop remained open until 1970, when service was discontinued and all structures were demolished. Today, the site is home to a recycling and pallet company, both currently still in operation. If commuter rail service was to reappear again in Plainfield West, it would likely occur at one of these 2 sites, both located at railroad overpasses. Of intersections with overpasses, these are the most likely sites, as Rock Avenue is too close to Denellen and Liberty Avenue is too close to the downtown station. In the short term, a jitney servicing Plainfield West could bring riders to the downtown train station, allowing the jitney to serve as a placeholder for public transit in anticipation of either Grant or Clinton Avenue stations' revival. In their heyday, Grant and Clinton Avenue stations were a catalyst of growth in their neighborhood and reflected an era booming with industrial activity. Today, the remnants of industry define the cityscape around these old station sites, and the presence of old factories and warehouses, now vacant, offer a tremendous opportunity for growth and development in Plainfield West. Large, moderately dense residential communities surround these industrial relics. Bordering these neighborhoods to the north is Greenbrook Park, a major asset to Plainfield West and the city of Plainfield as a whole. Along with the industrial buildings, the park could play a large role in defining Plainfield West's identity. Currently, the residential streets adjacent to the park are empty and unwelcoming. This is an important opportunity for Plainfield West. Improving and maintaining park space has the benefit of improving neighborhoods without the costs of new development. Studies show that real estate values can rise by nearly 20% within a 500 to 600 feet of a park. As parks have the capacity to improve neighborhoods, improving the park edges with elements such as farmers markets and playgrounds, for example, could greatly benefit the adjacent Plainfield West community. Additionally, in coordination with current efforts to improve and maintain recreational paths throughout the park, bike paths could be extended from Greenbrook Park throughout the streets and corridors in Plainfield West, and also connecting to potential TOD sites at Grant and Clinton Avenues. In addition to Greenbrook Park, Plainfield West is home to several other positive assets. These include the recreational fields, the Plainfield Health Center, and the Drake House Museum. Given the park's presence, community infrastructure, and the large, stable residential neighborhoods in Plainfield West, efforts to redevelop there could be focused on family-centric community development that supports neighborhood commercial and recreational opportunities that would also complement and foster the growth of a TOD. Our susceptibility to change map lays out community opportunities in Plainfield West. This was done by examining existing land use in the area, locating vacant lots, and determining whether buildings were occupied or not. It is notable that a significant number of highly susceptible locations cluster around the Grant and Clinton Avenue train station sites, a promising opportunity for creating transit-oriented development. Brownfield sites are overlaid on the susceptibility map and are again clustered around the old train stations. We will explore two areas of community-based TOD opportunities in Plainfield West, one immediately surrounding the Clinton Avenue Station and a second at Grant Avenue Station. Beginning with community opportunities surrounding the old Clinton Avenue Station, we identified two sites whose buildings could be adaptively reused. Both sites are immediately adjacent to the railroad, the first located on West Front Street, which is also a brownfield site, and a second that faces 2nd Street. The existing dimensions of these buildings would be appropriate for implementing double-loaded corridor housing, totaling up to 60 new units, a recommendation also noted in the West End Revitalization Report produced by Rutgers. Creating housing here could support an additional consumer base for new neighborhood retail, as well as a potential ridership base for public transit. The Canco condominiums in Jersey City offer an example of adaptive reuse and increasing housing density while maintaining the historical character of a neighborhood. Once used as a factory by the American Can Company, the structure has been recently converted into 80 new units of loft housing in each section of the factory seen here. These buildings are adjacent to and visible from the Pulaski Skyway. Additional adaptive reuse opportunities surrounding Clinton Avenue could also include the creation of groceries and smaller niche and specialty markets that could serve the expanded local population as well as Plainfield and other surrounding communities. Like its Clinton Avenue counterpart, the Grant Avenue Station and its surrounding vicinity offers several opportunities for development, both complementary to a TOD as well as strengthening the community of Plainfield West as a whole. The Merino site, adjacent to the tracks on West Front Street, has been identified as a site with the capacity to support a big box supermarket. The former train site itself, currently city-owned vacant land, is large enough to support many different types of development. These include, but are not limited to, transit-oriented development similar to that found in Garwood, development in the form of a big box supermarket, or an additional option we identify as highly viable for Plainfield West, a recreational commercial venture in the form of indoor soccer and lacrosse fields. These immensely popular facilities have the benefits of increasing positive youth activity and overall mobility throughout the area, supporting small-scale neighborhood commercial, as well as provide an additional location for city-operated recreational and scholastic leagues. A successful example of this is Rahway Center Circle. We have shared with you two opportunities that can release the potential of Plainfield West to improve the lives of citizens and the viability for new businesses and jobs. While fundamentally community-focused and not necessarily dependent on a train station in their ability to strengthen the Plainfield West community, these development opportunities can foster the larger vision of a future TOD that could lead New Jersey Transit to create a future Plainfield West train station.